Number two, it's a little bit risky, but it's worth it if you got trust in people. And that's be a loan shark in your family. Everybody need a little help, so you can charge them a little bit of interest anytime you help them out.
Okay, all over TikTok and on social media, all I am seeing is these fake credit card entrepreneurs. And what I mean by that is a whole bunch of people telling you how to get money by using credit cards in order to fund your business. They really never tell you what the business idea is, none of that, or they never specifically say how risky it is. And every time I see that, I get so frustrated because people are going to social media and they're trying to get some information to just boost their income. They're trying to get some true entrepreneurship advice and telling people to get credit cards and how to open them and how to take money out of it and then take that money to invest into other things is just extremely risky and is wrong. I'm gonna play a whole bunch of videos that I've seen on TikTok and I'm gonna give you guys my comments on it because guys, really, it's getting way out of hand.
In this video, I'm gonna teach you a couple ways that you can utilize your credit or use your credit to make money in the process. Number one of the favorite things I like to tell my clients they can do with their credit cards. Once you establish some good credit cards and some good credit card history, and at least a year or longer, or even 6 months a lot of times, a lot of people don't care, but you can actually add people to your credit card as an authorized user for like $500 sometimes. So you do the math. If you add like 10 people to your credit card for $500 each, that's like $5,000. You can do this every month. So one credit card can be up to $5,000 a month and just charge the people for adding them as an authorized user on your credit card to boost their credit.
You see, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Right? First of all, he's there talking. He's just like, you know, either you have a credit card for like a year or 6 months. Some people don't even care. What? What you mean some people don't even care? These credit card companies, they do care. These banks do care. It's like they don't care. It makes it seem like, you know, like these credit card companies are dumb. And you found a scheme. You found a way to just get around the system and take money from them and use them. Credit card companies, guys, they're winning in the end. And listen, you're gonna charge people $500 to be an authorized user on your account. So pretty much your entrepreneurial type of business advice is to just let people use your credit. And you charge them $500 and you get up to 10, you make $5,000 a month doing that. No, don't worry about the risk of the fact that someone's gonna swipe, continue using, and then now you have to pay it back, or the interest that you have to pay on these cards. No. You're gonna make $5,000 off of people that will actually, you know, need this help. And you're here just taking advantage of people trying to build credit. That is a horrible business advice.
Number two, it's a little bit risky, but it's worth it if you got trust in people. And that's be a loan shark in your family. Everybody need a little help, so you can charge them a little bit of interest anytime you help them out. You can even use your credit card. If you have a rewards card, these reward cards can turn into points. The points can turn into money, so you can earn extra money just by loaning out money to compound interest.
Okay, so this guy seems to be some entrepreneur guy that's trying to give advice to people, okay? He's trying to help everyone out there on TikTok how to make money. And here's his way of telling you how to make money. Lend money to your family. Get the interest that you charge them to be your own little loan shark and keep that money for yourself to build wealth. So essentially, you're screwing your family members. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, where else am I gonna get a loan? They might have difficulties getting a loan. Dude, if you got all this money, he has a thick ass chain. We saw that chain, got a nice sweater. Give him the money. What's the point of making all this money if you can't help your family? You're actually doing the reverse. You're getting all this money from your family and you're keeping it for yourself? Come on, man. Like, why would you want to be a loan shark for your own family? Really? Like, being a loan shark for your own family and dealing with them having to pay it back? Kind of what Dave Ramsey always says. Thanksgiving dinners would be really odd when you're sitting there, a family of 15, and you loaned all of them money. And they're all sitting there and some probably owe you or some probably missed a payment or whatever the case may be. It is not worth it. That is why these fake credit card entrepreneurs, they need to go.
As someone who made $1 million by the time I was 25, I put 100% of everything on credit cards, and here is why.
Okay, these things get crazier and crazier. So you made $1 million by the age of 26. That's great. Or 25, whatever she said. That's great. I salute you. I love people who become a multi-millionaire or get financially free at a young age. It means they hustled, they grind to get to a point where they got to. But all she said was she put everything on credit cards. So if you had, let's say, $100,000 or $50,000 worth of credit card debt, and you bought $50,000 worth of stuff, okay, like How'd you get to $1 million putting everything on your credit cards? Like, guys, don't you see in the news how everyone is on so much credit card debt? The credit card debt's like up to what? Like, I think $2 or $3 trillion or some ridiculous amount of money. And you're here telling people, you know, the way I became a millionaire is I put everything on credit cards. So you're what? Rewards point millionaire? What's going on here?
Understanding how credit works was probably the biggest game changer for me when it came to reaching financial freedom. Reason being is if you understand how to actually effectively leverage your credit, get a good credit score, and then leverage credit accessibility, you're using what's called OPM. OPM stands for other people's money.
Yes, you're using other people's money. That is true. But you need to pay back other people's money. Okay? And there's a fine line, guys, between debt and leverage. If you're an average middle class, family, you make $60,000 to $100,000 a year, whatever the case may be. Let's just say $100,000 a year. And you're using credit for leveraging, you're not leveraging. Okay? Leveraging is using money using credit to get into bigger assets. But you have to have so much money where you're able to take that risk. Right? Let's say, for example, recently they said Jay-Z bought like this multi-million-dollar mansion with Beyonce and they got a mortgage. That is leveraging. He is not going to pay multi-million-dollars for a house in cash. Okay? He is going to get the mortgage. Okay? The interest is going to be deducted. They have so many ways, so many business tactics in order to avoid paying taxes and get a return on the interest that they're paying. And the money they chose to not spend on the home, to invest, is going to make them a tremendous amount of money. A tremendous amount of money. But the average person that's saying, rather than spending, $400 on this item, I'm going to do a buy now, pay later and take that $400 and put it into the market and I'll make all this money. No. That's debt, okay? You're putting yourself in a risky situation. So stop all this nonsense.
Now, of course, this is not just free money that's handed to you to do whatever the heck you want, but when you leverage it this way, you can actually keep yourself in a better state of liquidity for emergencies, and you can be building wealth with your credit that you have access to.
Okay, having a credit limit does nothing to your net worth. You guys do understand that, right? If you have a large amount of your credit limit, I want to explain this to you, that does not mean you are wealthy, okay? That is just the ability to go out and to run up that money that the bank is loaning you. So to look at having a credit limit as an emergency fund or something to use as liquid, that's not what building an emergency fund is. You have to have hard cash or something that's extremely liquid. You cannot live your whole life just depending on credit. Because what's going to happen the day of your credit cards, like you can't get any more credit. Something bad happens and your credit is ruined. Now this whole business scheme thing you have is gonna collapse.
And if there's one thing I've learned, it's building your credit early on and keeping a good credit score is always going to come in handy the more you progress in the future. Not only is it a way that a lot of lenders and banks will assess if you are a viable candidate to lend to, if you want to buy something in the future like a house or a car, but it also continues to open up new opportunities for you to invest in other things that you otherwise wouldn't have had the capital to do.
Okay, this is where it gets risky. I mean, everything she was saying I was agreeing with. Listen, you have to have a good credit score if you want to get a car or a house, especially a house. A house is too expensive nowadays, and a lot of people do need a mortgage. So I understand having a good credit score and getting a mortgage, I get. A car, of course, I get it. Most of us need a car, something that's reasonable. Too many people getting car payments that's ridiculously high. But yes, you need a car, you need a home, a place to live, a car to get around. I get it. But this is the part that I always got beef with. When they start saying for capital. When it comes to using credit cards or getting loans, you gotta be really careful where you're using that money for. You cannot just use it for a risky endeavor. You really can't, unless you know what you're doing. But it seems like that's what she's leaning to when she says capital. And this is where I have a lot of trouble with people using the credit card or credit to get all these assets.
You build your credit, you can start doing something called credit stacking, where you get access to a massive amount of credit in a relatively short period of time. I have plenty of people who have got access to over a couple $100,000 worth of credit accessibility, and oftentimes these initial sign-on bonuses in the first year will have a 0% APR, meaning you have that money accessible to you in a way that's more feasible to use than a short-term loan.
There it goes, the whole credit card stacking. Why? Why are they giving advice to people to do this whole credit card stacking which is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, that's pretty much just opening up. They say you open up one card, and once you get approved there, then you go to another one, and then you go to another one, and then you start stacking it up on a short period of time. Now you have all these credit cards. Hello, there's a problem with that. And the one problem is the more credit cards you start opening, the banks will start noticing you have the ability to run up a whole bunch of credit. So they would be afraid to offer you any type of loans because you have this large, as she said, $100,000 on the side that you can use at your disposal. That is extremely risky for a bank. They are not gonna let you borrow money in situations like that.
Now, of course, you have to be very careful in doing this, but if you have something like that, you could easily start up a business like a Turo business, for example. That's just one case scenario. There's a lot of different ways that you could do it, but once you've built up that credit, you have accessibility, you could qualify for one or multiple lower auto loans that you can purchase cars with and now run a Turo business that can absolutely generate you a significant amount of money with relatively low upkeep and overhead. But of course, you have to do your research first to make sure that you don't get yourself into an unfortunate purchase, because that's one way to tank it.
Okay, she had me ready to just blow up until the end. She said, you do your own research. But I'm still gonna jump on that Toro thing because come on, a vehicle's a depreciating asset. Why you wanna get into a business with depreciating asset? The amount of insurance you probably need for these cars in case there's any type of accident is gonna be ridiculous. She says low upkeep. Really? You gotta worry about parking. You gotta worry about the insurance on these cars. You gotta make the payments on these cars. There's so many things you need to worry about when you're owning these vehicles. So it's not a simple business endeavor to just open up you become a rental company. Now listen, I never used Turo, okay? I never use it. I heard people do use it, but I don't think it's that popular. So there's people out there right now trying to find ways to start a business, and that's the advice that they're hearing. And if they go that route, it's over.
Do you know how many credit cards you're supposed to have? I'm Vivian, your rich BFF and your favorite Wall Street girly who's here to tell you it's probably more than you think. Hey Viv, you're good with money. I should only have one credit card, right? No. Wait, what? I was always told to just have one. So credit is very personal and it's up to each person, but typically the sweet spot is 3 to 5 credit cards.
Now that's how you use credit cards. That's exactly right. You want 3 to 5 credit cards. You don't need any more than that, okay? You do not need any more than 5 credit cards because if you're getting over that, you are extremely risky.
Why so many? Well, typically 3 to 5 cards helps to increase your total credit limit, which means you'll have an easier time building your credit score. Your credit score takes into account credit utilization, aka how much of your credit lines you use. And if you only have one card, you may have a hard time keeping your usage less than 30%, the ideal amount, if the card has a low limit.
Now finally, someone is dropping wisdom on how to truly use a credit card. That is the important part when you have a credit card. That's why the whole last video and the person before that saying, you know, just get credit cards and just lend people money and be a loan shark and all that other stuff is just nonsense. Because as soon as you start using that money, your credit utilization, it tanks. Follow her, guys. She is really good. I did a video on her as well. She is really good. She just doesn't give you any fluff or any bull crap. She gets straight to the point and she's not giving you this fake entrepreneurial nonsense. She's giving you some hard, basic finance stuff to get you better with finances.
Oh, that makes sense. What about having 6 or 7 credit cards? Wouldn't that be even better? Nah, because at that point, you have so many lines of credit, lenders see you as a bigger risk.
Exactly true, and that's why I say all the time about all these credit card stackers I see all over the internet. That is not gonna last, guys. You think you're getting away with something, but you're not. You're really not. You are extremely risky, and that's why I don't like those videos, because there's people out there trying to build wealth and they're putting themselves in a very, very, very risky situation if they follow all these credit card stack nonsense.
I work this job, man. I'm trying to get a haircut. I'm trying to get a scare pick at 19, 20.
But if you don't got no credit, that shit is like bad credit. Like no credit is down there like bad credit.
All right, here we go. First of all, I don't know why you want to buy a Hellcat. What's up with people's fascination with getting these wonderful cars? But okay, he's saying he's trying to build up credit to get himself a Hellcat. Go for it, whatever. And so far, for what he said, he's right. No credit is as good as bad credit. It really is. If you have no credit history, then it's considered bad. You could build up to it, but so far in this video, I'm kind of digging it. I don't like the whole Hellcat thing. It looks like a little kid worrying about a Hellcat, but it is what it is.
Let's say they're working at Walmart. That's where I used to work. Let's say y'all folks working at Walmart and y'all trying to get a Hellcat or a Scat back, but you ain't got no credit. What I would do, the money y'all save from y'all paycheck, I would save that money up and make it like 5K, 6, 7K, and go open go get a secured credit card. When you get a secured credit card, you using your money. So the bank not lending you no money, they're just giving you the ability to build your credit with your own money.
Okay, he doesn't seem too confident how he's explaining it, but so far what he's saying is correct, and that is true. It's if you have no credit history at all, best way to build credit is to open up a secured credit card, put a few dollars in there, 100, 200, 300, whatever it is. Not as much as he said, 4,000 or 5,000, especially if you're not good with credit. You put a small amount, you start swiping, start using, paying it back exactly when it's due, and have no late payments, and then you eventually get offered credit cards. So yes, that is a good way to build credit. So he is giving good advice, and it looks like he's not spitting none of that nonsense entrepreneur how to get rich stuff as of now.
Do that, swipe that secure credit card, build your credit up, and then just really go from there. That's how you're gonna start your credit up, is get a secure credit card.
Okay, he needs to work more on sounding confident. He don't sound too confident what he's saying, but I see what he's saying. He's giving good advice. He's so far giving good advice, I can't knock him on that.
Y'all could also do a pledge loan. So what a pledge loan is, like if you got 10K, you put that 10K, you call the bank and tell them you want to do a pledge loan, you want to pledge that 10K. So what you do is basically you putting up your own 10K, but they report it as a loan as if they loan you that money. So when other lenders see that shit, they thinking, oh, Navy Federal gave him 10K, we trust them to give him this loan, but really that's your 10K.
Now, he is right, sort of, but in the same time, it comes off as if he's thinking like he's tricking the system. Okay, these banks are not stupid. They know if it's a pledge loan, it's money you put up front. And they would not just simply say, hey, you have 10,000 with whatever bank, so he's good for 10,000 with us. That is not exactly how it works, okay? I do appreciate the fact that he is giving some pretty good advice to try to like get better with building, with building good credit. I take that. But the whole just trying to trick the system thing, I just don't like. And that's what I like about this whole fake entrepreneur credit card crap, is it feels like they're trying to trick the system. Like Capital One and all these banks are just dumb and they're gonna give you money and let you run rampant. They're not dumb. They know what they're doing. There's a reason why the credit card debt is up to the trillions. They know exactly what they're doing. And if you're gonna play around, start playing with these credit card companies and taking money out and then bring it to another thing and then do this and do that and then adding authorized users, you're not gonna win. You're gonna lose. Guys, if you wanna be an entrepreneur, speak to people who do things the right way. Doing things with credit cards is not gonna work, okay? It's not gonna work. Now, if you wanna start a business and you wanna take a little class or whatever the case may be, okay, use your credit card for that, just to gain some knowledge. That way you can go out there and then, while you're educated enough and you can start doing whatever it is you wanna do. But taking money and just skipping all of that, not learning anything and using a credit card to just fund an endeavor thinking it's just gonna work, that's not always the case. Well guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you appreciate what I do, hit a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.